Hello and welcome to 10 Talk. I am Adam Mincham, joined today by Seth Hutchings, and we are going to be talking about the Forrester B2B Summit coming up in Austin, Texas on May 2nd to the 4th.
Keeping it weird in Austin. That will be good.
yeah. It's exciting stuff. First one, the inaugural event for the 2022 season.
That's the first one for the both of us, right?
It is. It's
exciting.
Good.
It is exciting. Well, should we jump right into it?
Yeah,
set the timer.
That's it. Let's do it. We got 10 minutes to get through this, so let's get started. All right, now 3 questions we've got here today. So the first one is, what is your focus and theme for this year's event?
It's a good question. It's a hard question because there's a lot always going on in the world of marketing and sales and customer experiences. And I think my focus is going to be all about how have teams in the last 2 years been integrating across the organization, from marketing to sales to customer success teams, in one kind of chart towards success. Like, has everyone been aligned? Have we been siloed because of the pandemic for the last 2 years? What does alignment really look like within the organization today after 2 years of going through all of this? And so I think that's going to be my theme to listen to and to think about of that true alignment there. How about you? What's your focus? What's your theme?
I'm going with the operational side of things. So, I want us to look at what's happening in the data-driven world, what's happening in the tech-enabled world, what's happening in the world of analytics, especially. There's a couple of key themes that align to that around marketing operations track, the sales operations track. I think somewhat the demand and ABM track too. So I think they're the 3 tracks I'm going to be following along the most. I really want to see how CDPs or personalization or next best action have been adopted over the last 12 months. And there's a couple of good sessions that I'm hoping to learn a lot from to see whether, it's taking off in the B2B world in the way that we'd hoped, 18, 24 months ago. And also to see whether people are leveraging that alongside some of the behavioral intent data that's been available for some time now. So that's my theme.
That's heavy. That's a lot.
I'm going to attend as many sessions as I possibly can on that subject. So,
yeah, I think that's the goal, to focus on what we can. Well, then, now you mentioned the session. So, what are your top 3 sessions you want to see then? Maybe by day. Let's talk about that.
I think day 1 for me, is going to be at the executive leadership sessions. So I'm going to be pretty focused on that. There's some great talks happening, and actually some workshops as well. So that's always a fun thing to do. I've done a couple of workshops with clients post-pandemic in person, but this will be the first time doing one with a big group. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic, and looking forward to seeing how that goes. On Tuesday, actually found a great session here, which is the secret to building a revenue tech stack based on intelligent growth. And that's being hosted by Barbie Matty and Katie Linford. And that's actually going to be in the meeting room 16B there at 10:40 a.m. So I definitely plan to be in that session on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, again, going with that theme of kind of data-enabled tech, data-driven tech-enabled, Action IQ actually have M&T Bank's Chris O'Brien speaking on what they've delivered over M&T Bank. So, again, CDP, personalization, kind of hoping a little bit of next best action there, in a B2B case. So, excited for that one too.
Awesome. Good. No, I think that's, not surprising for you, but also I think that next best action, I'm interested in seeing the topics around that as well.
Yeah, I think it works. So how about you? 3 days, lots of sessions, hundreds of them, it seemed like, going through the schedule.
Yeah, sometimes I wish, it's almost like there's too much, right? Like, you want to, do you invite your whole team to divide and conquer, or do you try to just get what you get and you don't throw a fit? What I say to my kids, that's what we do. But no, I think there's a lot of good things. I'm interested on Monday. I'm going to go right into, seeing some of the partners. I want to see what 6 Sense. They have a very interesting topic of never miss a revenue moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think this idea of moments in time and these moments that we need to capture, either from a behavioral standpoint, like you're saying, the next best action, but especially when it comes to anonymous targeting, with COVID and people and organizations still working at home. I mean, that's why we haven't traveled. I mean, we used to travel, multiple times a month to our clients.
Yeah.
And we still haven't been because offices are still somewhat, closed in hybrid mode. So I'm interested in seeing how we don't miss a revenue moment, and how 6 Sense is addressing that. And I think Latine Canent and then Carrie Cunningham, I'm interested in what they're seeing in the marketplace because they're always very connected. I know that. And so I'm excited to see what they have to say.
Moments that matter, very googly. Can't go wrong with a Google alignment there.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And then we got to be the answer, right? To that Google comment. I think that's important.
Yeah.
The next one is on Tuesday. I'm interested in the session called ABM on steroids. I think if you have a topic that says on steroids, then you have to deliver, right? And so no pressure there for the team at Forrester to deliver on that, especially Robert Patterson is going to be presenting that. So, I hope he delivers on steroids. But I think, we want to know in this time and place that we are with ABM, what that looks like. How do we really think about addressing the buyer groups and different locations now across the world that are not maybe in team meetings as we know it before, and how to really think about those must-win opportunities with the buying committee. And I think that's important. So I'm interested in that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then Wednesday, I think that there's going to be a lot of time for cases, which I'm excited about. But one that I really want to think about is the operationalize the B2B revenue waterfall. We see this every year from Serious Decisions. We've seen it over and over. But I think where we've failed is this operationalizing it. And so I want to see if they deliver as well on operationalizing that B2B waterfall.
Yeah, and connecting the dots, right? I mean, you and I talk a lot about revenue enablement as a theme and going beyond kind of marketing and even beyond sales and into customer success. And I think as you talk about the funnel, it's got to go all the way. It's really the infinity loop as you and I talk about it, right? But I mean, how are we kind of optimizing through marketing, through sales, and down into that customer success as well? I think that's going to be interesting to see whether that's covered because it's a hot one for you and I. So we have 2 minutes left. And we got one more thing, and I think this is like kind of the interesting one, being the first year back, is like, well, what do you expect? What's it going to feel like to be at a major event? This is probably one of the biggest events on the B2B calendar, at least in the US. It's a sizable venue, and we're kind of like year one of really getting back into the physical motion. So what are you expecting?
I'm expecting a lot of awkwardness at the beginning of not knowing how to talk to people.
Not everyone running up and giving big hugs.
Not knowing who should go up the escalator first, that type of thing. I'm expecting a lot of that.
Masks on and off. On and off. Yep.
That's right. No, I think, I'm hoping for just a lot of comments. I hope that the speakers allow for time for a conversation to happen. I think people want to have this conversation. I think we need to have conversations that we haven't been able to have with thought leaders in the space, or with clients, or with customers, or with partners, whatever it is. I think just a more kind of in a casual setting, open conversation. And I love that. I love having those conversations, just it's unstructured with some really smart people. And so I'm looking forward to that quite a bit.
All right,
how about you?
I think for me, I mean, it's, how are people going to interact? I think, my biggest intrigue is going to be, what is the audience, right? I mean, obviously, a substantial amount of Forrester analysts are going to be there. It's their event. We know there's a lot of sponsors there. And so obviously, I'm hoping there's more than just the Forrester analysts and the sponsors. Love those guys, but we want to make sure that there's, a lot of people there in person and learning that we can also engage with and learn from directly. And then the other thing is the people traveling for it. So a big contingent from here in Austin these days. Wasn't true a few years back, but we're seeing more and more sales and marketing functions, enterprise companies reside here in Austin. So, is it going to be a local crew, or is it going to be a lot of people traveling in? So, for me, it's always about just meeting different people and having different conversations and kind of expanding my knowledge and expanding experience of what people are doing. So, I'm hopeful that people will turn up there.
Yeah.
I think that's it for me. I mean, that was the 3. They've got 25 seconds. This is our first attempt here, Seth. So I think we got pretty good on the
we covered it.
Talk.
Yeah, we covered it. I think it's good. We're excited to see everyone there. Please come up to us if you are there. We want to see you. We want to talk with you. But we're excited to see what how this comes about, and we're going to follow up. We're going to, right, Adam? We're going to have another session, and we'll kind of give you our outlook of what happened.
All right, that's the time.
That's the time.
We're sticking to it. Thank you so much, Seth.
All right.
See you all there, and we'll follow up on the other side.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.